Hey guys, welcome back. This weekend was the 6th round of the Texas NICA series. This was held at a Sackett ranch, just like the first race. However, the course was a bit different. Please sit back, relax, enjoy the video, and watch this NICA race weekend unfold. That's the finish right there. Alright, hi guys. I hope you liked that pre-ride edit, but now it's race day. So let's go see what some of the older kids thought about the course.
Was probably right after the start, the little downhill with all the berms, and then we hit Kenji's Revenge. We didn't this time, but like the downhill. Yeah, and then the flowy part after.
My favorite part of the course was almost catching a kid and almost beating him, but I didn't.
My favorite part of the course was the technical route sections in the back.
Yeah. I like how we went down them this time.
Yes, it's a good change.
My favorite part of the course is right here when they have the rock come down and they get to come through and loop around, and we get to yell at them and cheer them on a couple of times in a row. That's my favorite.
Those were some great answers for some of the kids on my team's favorite part of the course. Now, let's strap the camera on and go race our bikes. Alright guys, so this is the actual race run. I'm just going to do the highlights for this race because my GoPro malfunctioned and stopped working around 3/4 in. So I'll chime in every once in a while and explain some things, but other than that, just enjoy this race video. Alright guys, so this was our whole shot. I ended up getting a pretty good place out of it, and I followed my friend Drew through the first part of this race. Push! As we made our way around the first corner of the race and up this first hill here, I kept a pretty good pace, able to follow most of the people in the first group. I followed my friend Drew up and down this first hill, but then he had a mechanical, which he would fight back from. After that, this kid passed me on the flat, and it turned into kind of a passing game for the rest of the race. Riding down this first downhill was a lot of fun. It had a lot of berms and rollers, which carried speed down the whole thing. This was probably one of the best downhills of the whole race. Coming into this downhill dip with the bridge, I knew this was my place to pass this kid, and I ended up getting him right on the flat after. This would not be the last time we would pass each other, though. Can I come around you? The rest of this part of the track would be tricky, very loose, flat corners that you could make up a lot of speed on if you just kept pedaling. Coming out of this forested area, there's a really fun, large, like 80 feet down, 80 feet up dip with a right-hander right after before we start climbing this huge hill coming up. You probably hear this a lot, but I can tell you first-handedly that this hill is not given justice by the GoPro footage. It's long, steep, awkward, and very tiring. However, when you get to the top, you are rewarded with a fun little downhill that gets your breath caught up. Like the first downhill, this one is mainly composed of berms and rollers. However, at the bottom there is a fun little rock feature where you can roll out onto the grassy corner after. After this, we pass through the pit zones for the first time. This is a long, straight stretch where you turn into this little dip and then are pedaling the opposite direction for a few hundred yards before entering the forest again. here we have this fun bridge transfer thing before trekking back into the forest for a little while longer. Up here, you can see a sign that says Sidewinder. This is a long, flatter, but still uphill section that feels like it goes on forever. At the top of Sidewinder Climb, there's a short, flat section called Got 02 right before dropping into Spin Dryer. A fun, tight, loose, bermy downhill that really gets the blood pumping. Coming down Spin Dryer, there was a kid with a flat tire. He told me as I was passing, and I told the next course marshal I saw. This section was my favorite section on the whole trail. It was a short downhill before dropping onto this bridge and then switchbacking our way through the forest. Hope you enjoy. Right here, coming up this hill, I caught one kid walking, but this was a really steep hill. Coming around this rooty corner, we both caught another kid. And then running up this hill, I finally caught the third kid. And you remember Drew from earlier? At this point, he made up all that time and was right behind me. This steep hill almost got me, but I pushed through it and made it up the climb. Unfortunately, coming over this route here, my chain came off and I was forced to stop, get off, and fix it. I won't bore you with this footage, but now I have a whole bunch of people to catch, so let's go. I only lost about 30 seconds here, but remember that kid from the very beginning? He passed me, and unfortunately, I just wasn't able to get back a hold of him. However, I did pass this kid. And a couple 100 yards later, I also managed to get around this kid. I continued trucking on, making pretty good progress through the course and getting some of that lost time with the chain coming off back in the following section of the trail. Sadly, coming back into this clearing, my camera malfunctioned and decided to stop recording for the rest of the race. However, I did get some third person. As I come over this roller and start to climb up this short hill, you can see maximum effort being given as it's more towards the finish of the race. And boom, not only is that a race finished, but it's a whole NICA race season. I look back on it and think it's one of the best race series I've ever done in my entire life. And I'm so thankful for everyone who made it so great. Also, thank you to Machete Man MTB Gear for being such a great sponsor to this channel. Also, all the video I got from this NICA series will be going into one video shortly. Until next time, G out. Whoa, you okay, Drew?